Hello friends, and welcome to another figure study with another Tobot. Though, as of this recording, this is the last Tobot figure I have, or the last Korean transforming robot toy in general that I have to make a video on. Don't have anything else in the mail, I don't have anything else on the shelf that I haven't done a video on, so this is the last one for now. I'm sure at some point in the future I'll be getting more of these things, but this is it for now, and this is Tobot v. Boat King. I don't really know the story behind this particular subset of Tobot V. All I know is that at one point, about a year ago, maybe less, time is so meaningless these days, they released a trio of these teeny Tobots, but they weren't mini. They were designed to be this small, and I believe they were intended to be like hauled around by a much bigger, more standard-y sized Tobot. I don't have any of those, I just have Boat King, because I like Boat King's design the best. That's basically all I've got on it, and this is an adorable little battleship thing. And you can probably see one of my issues with this mode right off the bat, which I'll get into in a sec, but this is very cute. He's got little bit guns on the back, some planes, which makes this guy seem like he's supposed to be massive, but he's not. Bit of hollowness in the back there, which is kind of a shame, but yeah. If I can forgive it for Transformers, I can forgive it for Tobots. The issue that I have with this boat mode is you have the robot mode eyes just peeking out right over the deck there, and it can sit a little bit further, but it doesn't really lock in down there, it just wants to pop back up. I kind of feel like this should have been able to push down so much that the eyes were completely obstructed. It would have helped to sell the look of this, but that's what we got. So that's a little disappointing. But it's still a really cute looking boat mode, and there are some nice details in here, like the kind of radar communication dish up top, the guns on top of what is obviously the robot head, the shape of the bow, and the kind of riveting detail they've got going around the sides. And again, you've got those planes with the runway and the guns. It's small, so there's not a ton here, but I do like the detail that is here. Also, I like the colors on this guy. It's a really nice blue. The red accents work pretty well. And of course, yellow. Yellow and blue always work well together. There's not really a whole lot else I could say about this. It's just a cute little boat mode that I find adorable. So let's put him off to the side and adjust things a bit so we can start in on size comparisons. Here he is with the standard deluxe squad, and yeah, this is he's roughly deluxe size, a little smaller when folded up in a boat, and it's cute. For a Tobot, it's tiny and adorable. Here he is with a more classic Tobot in vehicle mode, that being Tobot Terrical, and I guess insert joke about modern toys getting smaller and smaller here, because that's fashionable and original at this point, right? Here he is with another Tobot V figure, that being Wild Chief, although I believe Wild Chief is more recent than Boat King. Pretty sure. I don't think these are I think he came like one or two waves or lines or sublines or whatever after Boat King did. I think. Just in case anyone is curious, here he is with a older Hello Carbot, that being Ponymeister. And here he is with the Duck Tank. Alright, transformation time, and this is a very simple transformation, but gets the job done. So, I want to come back here and pop these bits off from the sides. I just peg in back here. You can see the peg on this side and the peg on this side. Let's unpeg these. Then we can unclip these bits from the front, and we unclip this side. The head pops up. When you unclip this side, the legs are supposed to flip down, but on mine it gets stuck for some reason. I don't really understand why, but yeah, as you can see, it just unstuck itself. So that unclicks and then the legs flip down, and that will kind of lock into place, kind of. Then rotate the legs around and split them, and from here this whole side of the boat actually swings down, and then this panel flips around to make the forearm. That's a really clever bit of transformation, actually. It's one of the things that really kind of drew me to this guy, is the fact that his entire arms, like from the shoulder down to the forearms, are the sides of the boat mode. There's just something very cool about that to me. But we're already done. That is it for the transformation. Boat King's transformation is very straightforward, very simple, but as I said, it gets the job done, and what you're left with is a really cute but also neat looking robot. I like the sort of side sections of the front of the ship being used as shoulders. The front of the ship itself being the chest is nice, and the head, again, I wish it sat down further in ship mode, but it pops up nicely. Now the coloring is pretty much the same as what we saw in the shipped mode, except you get a little bit more white because of the thighs, and the fists are more prominent, the biceps, and of course there's the head. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of new detail revealed here. It's a little bit messy around the back, but it's the back. It's kind of how it goes with figures like this, right? He looks good. He looks really good. There's not that much new detailing, maybe a little bit in the thighs, which does look good. I like that they have some molded detail in there. And the biceps don't really have much in the way of detailing, but there is some there. And then the head, which we'll look at more in a second. But yeah, for the most part, it's just boat stuff that's been recontextualized because it's been moved around, and I think that works really well. I always like it when figures do stuff like that, where instead of making all the vehicle stuff disappear, I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate stuff like Unique Toys doing turn the vehicle completely inside out type engineering to make those impossible live action movie designs work in toy form, but I also really appreciate it when it's just the chunks of the vehicle are incorporated into the robot mode so that there's really no kibble or anything like that. It's just all right there. Now, in terms of the head, it's a neat little head. It's very boat captain-esque, I guess. The hat kind of looks like a captain's hat, kind of, but also looks like a boat. Some nice color breakup where it's primarily blue, but then you've got these little black accents here and there, the yellow for the little crest on top, and then you can see more of the face now with that really nice bright blue for the eyes, white for the face, red for the chin strap. It's unfortunate that you saw a lot of that detailing with like the eyes already in ship mode, but it is what it is. It's a good looking head. I kind of, for some reason, really like these little pods down at the bottom there. I don't know why I like that detail, but I do. It just looks neat. I don't know. Now, in terms of articulation, you cannot turn the head. I don't know if this is all molded into one thing on the panel here, or if maybe I took it apart, there'd be a way to make it so the head can turn, but... Oh, wait, no. Looking at the engineering, there's a slider along the back here, like a track that the head follows, and that track is, the little plastic bit is on the back of the head, so yeah, there's no way the head is going to be able to turn, so that's a shame, but oh well. The shoulders actually can go in and out. You kind of lose friction after you get to this point, and it's just floppy, but you can raise them up to this point with no problem, and then it does kind of, like, the friction kicks in past that point, and then you can bring it up and down without worrying about things getting floppy. The arms can also, it's a bit tricky, but the arms can rotate. The issue here is that the connection for the bicep at the rotation is tighter than the connection to the shoulder pad, so if you go to twist it like this, you're just going to spin the shoulder pad and not the bicep. And then for the elbow, you get a pretty okay elbow bend. It sits in a weird spot, but I kind of like how they angled the bicep in a way that gives you the space to do an elbow bend. Because of the ball joint for the elbow, that also gives you rotation. It does, again, sit kind of weird. It sits towards the back, and there's this big chunk in front, but, you know, he's tiny and simple. I think that's fine for what it is. No waist rotation. The legs can go forward that far, and then back. Back that far before things start crashing into stuff. They can go out a little past 90 degrees. You actually have a thigh swivel, and this is not for the transformation. This is just something that they put in for the sake of articulation. That's much appreciated. And you also get a knee bend. However, you can't really use it much. Like, it doesn't look bad from here, but the problem is where the knee, like where the joint is connected for this rotation is down by the ankle. So as you rotate it, if you rotate it too far, suddenly it's starting to look a little weird, and yeah. Articulation is a little limited, but he's also very tiny, and I feel like for what he is, the articulation is actually pretty solid. Moving him off to the side, let's bring this up. And actually, let's move him way back here because some of these other things we're bringing in for size comparisons are going to be quite a bit taller than he is. So to start, here he is with the standard deluxe squad. Let me readjust this slightly. So you can see, yes, he is a little bit smaller than a standard deluxe figure. He looks bulky, but he's a little bit shorter, which is fine. It's a little odd for a Tobot, but that's how he stacks up. So close to having it all in frame. All right, let's pull this back a little bit. So here he is with a classic Tobot, that being Terrical, and yeah, he's a lot smaller than Terrical, but that's by design. Here he is with Tobot the Wild Chief, and again, Wild Chief came from, I believe, a wave or so, or subline or whatever later than Boat King, but still a bit of a size difference. And for that Hello Carbot player, here he is with Hello Carbot Ponymeister. So that is that for Tobot the Boat King. I feel like I've kind of said everything I can about this guy. I guess the video's been kind of short and sweet, just like him. But yeah, I like this guy a lot. He's simple, yes. He's tiny, but he's sturdy. He's fun to transform. He's got some quirks, yes, but he looks good. I hate to repeat myself because I just said in the Mini Titan video how Mini Titan was a good desk toy, but like Boat King is a really good desk toy. He's the kind of thing you can just like transform back and forth really quickly, keep off to the side, grab him when you need something to do just for like a second. It would be cool if he had slightly more posability, but like he's a Tobot, so I'm kind of just grateful for the posability that he does have. I think the only real significant gripe I have with this guy is the whole head not going down far enough for the ship mode. That could just go down a little bit further. But for what we've got, for what he is a lot of fun. So that is going to do it. Tobot the Boat King. What do you all think of this guy? Whatever your thoughts, feel free to chime in down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all. And also feel free to check out the Patreon that we've got running. There's going to be a link in the description and also in the end card. There's just a $1 tier, but it gets you early access to videos when they go up, and it's, supports the channel and is much appreciated. Not required, but appreciated. Thank you everybody for watching, and remember, art is more than meets the eye.